All right, good evening. Hey, everybody. My name is Allison, and I wanted to just take a few minutes tonight and chat with y'all about the holiday season coming up and why it's important to be consistent through it and not stop working or kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit. Because Y'all, it's a big, big time of year. The holiday season really kind of kicks off this really busy season just in general for us. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we can leverage that on social media. We're going to talk a little bit about some activities, different ideas that you can use to kind of help get conversations going during the holidays, and just a little bit in general about the importance of it. But I wanted to just read, this is something that I found today, and I just wanted to read it really quick. And it says, things you can always control: your words, your actions, your attitude, your perspective, your focus, your effort, and your energy. So I just want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind, because I know the holidays feel a little bit crazy. Sometimes we feel like we're spinning out of control. In my family, during this like October, November, December time, we have 4 birthdays in addition to all the holidays. And when we were active duty, we also had a Marine Corps ball thrown in there. So it's really kind of a busy, busy season. And sometimes it's just a good reminder of like, hey, I can control me. I can control what I'm doing and how I'm reacting to things. So that was just a good little reminder as we get started. So I just want to take a second and kind of remind you that like what you're doing right now is going to be what sets you up for success starting in January. So like we've been talking a lot about the reset, and hopefully you've been posting about it and getting some good results, and getting a lot of people that are really excited about it. But if you wait and you're kind of like, you know what, the holidays are busy, and you kind of like take your foot off the gas and you don't do a whole lot, by the time January rolls around, you haven't done the legwork, and they're not thinking of you when they're like, gosh, I have these goals, I have all these New Year's resolutions. And they're not like, oh, I know who I can reach out to. I have a weight loss goal. I have a health and fitness goal. I have a financial goal that I want. And they're not thinking about reaching out to you because you haven't necessarily been consistent over the holidays. So that's one of the main reasons that it's super important to keep going and to keep consistent these next couple months, so that when people are ready, they're like, oh, I know, I've seen Debbie posting a ton about that reset thing, and I'm ready to do that in January. I'm gonna reset for this whole year. And the first thing they do is think of you, because you're the one that's been posting it and you've been consistent. So, and Debbie, you're great at that. So I just called you out. um, so this is like I said, where you're setting yourself up for success. So kind of think about that. Like, where do you see yourself when January rolls around? Where do you see yourself as you have put this into action over these next couple months? Where do you see yourself in January? Where do you see yourself by convention? Think about those things and kind of make a plan and use that to remind yourself why you're staying consistent here. But like I said, it's all today's work. So today we are, thinking about branding. We're thinking about getting out there on social media and being present. You want to think about, like I said, that the New Year's resolutions are typically health, finances, weight loss, right? Like those are kind of the big 3 things that people are talking about. So think about that now and kind of plan out how you're going to present yourself, so that when people are looking, they're like, oh, yeah, I remember I've seen all these really good posts, and she keeps posting about these things, and I've seen them, and now suddenly they're ready for January. So that gives them the confidence to know that when they do join or when they do try a product, you're not just going to skip out, and you're not just going to, let them buy it and then never, they might never hear from you again. They know that you're consistent through everything. And we want to be the one that they think of, because we're doing it the right way, not because we're sending them a message every single day, not because we're harassing anybody, not because we're just blowing up our feed with Plexus, but because we're doing network marketing the right way. We're showing them how this is incorporated into our lives through the holidays. We're showing them, how this can make an impact for them. So again, be strategic. We're not posting like fuzzy, funny pictures. We're not posting a bunch of graphics and things like that. You can do some graphics in your stories and stuff, but try to use good pictures. If you've got kids or pets or, whatever, use those in your pictures, and your post can be something, similar to it, but it doesn't have to be exact, and that's okay. But it involves your network in your life. It lets them know what's going on and how this fits in. So be thinking ahead to, like, we have the Sugar Busters Challenge coming up the 23rd through the 29th. We've got, November is a month where everybody talks about what they're thankful for. And guess what? I've been guilty of this a bunch. If you wait until November 1st to go, gosh, I should do that, thankful for something every day in November idea. And then I make it 2 or 3 days, and then I haven't had enough time to really put a lot of thought into it, and it just doesn't happen. So that's something that we need to be thinking about now before November starts, so that we have something. If you want to do that challenge and put out something you're thankful for every day, it doesn't have to all be Plexus stuff either, but that you're putting out, maybe one of them is you're thankful that you have the energy to run around with your grandkids. Maybe you're thankful that you got a good night's sleep. It can be some really simple stuff that still is giving them those ideas. And then a lot of gifting goes on, right, in the holidays. So in December, maybe we're giving the gift of health. So we can be kind of thinking of ways that can incorporate in as well. But you have to keep posting personal stuff, y'all. If we're thinking strategically and we're putting all these things into practice for the holidays, but we forget to post about what's going on in our lives, then your friends are just going to keep scrolling by, and they're not going to look, because, they were your friends before you started sharing Plexus. So they still want to know what's going on with you. You need to be a product of the product, meaning you're taking your supplements consistently, and you're doing healthy things. You're trying to, get healthier habits. It doesn't mean you don't splurge sometimes and have something, but you know what? Be authentic, be vulnerable about it. Be like, you know what? I went to this holiday party, and normally I would have, just cleared the chocolate covered strawberries or whatever it is that's your thing. But I had like 1 or 2, and it's great that I can have a treat and I don't feel like it rules my life anymore. That type of post can really speak to people that are going and struggling with, self-control at parties like that. So when we're being authentic about that, and we're telling them like, hey, you can still have a treat. It's okay. This is not something where you have to be an all or nothing in there. You can actually be more relatable. People will have more traffic on your posts and they'll be more interactive if you're telling the truth and you're being authentic about it. That doesn't mean we're going to McDonald's and we're sucking down whatever holiday milkshake junk they have. That kind of stuff, really and truly, we don't want to be doing. If you can help it, you really don't want to be advertising that kind of stuff, because we do want to be showing that health and wellness is important to us. And that needs to come across on our social media too. Be posting about the reset. Post about it now. Keep posting the testimonies. Keep showing people. And if it's someone that tag them in it, because your friends are going to be like, oh, wait a minute. She knows this person. This is an actual thing. Because I'm still getting people going, wait, that happens in 3 days? I'm like, yep, 3 days. So tag people, find reset testimonies of your friends and tag them in it so that it's relatable. Be thinking ahead about Black Friday, about Cyber Monday. Usually Plexus puts out some specials for that. But kind of be thinking ahead about building excitement about those things and kind of planning your posts around, how much time you're going to spend on those, or if maybe you're going to add in anything extra. So I wanted to give you a few activities or a few ideas of how you can kind of leverage this like busy running around holiday season to start conversations, to meet new people, to expand that network, because that's really what we're doing, right? So you can host events. You can do launch parties for maybe your new ambassadors. You can do a relaunch if maybe you haven't done stuff in a while and you're kind of coming back. Do a relaunch party. But you want to personally invite people. Do not be the person that just does a party and then sends a mass invite out to everybody and doesn't invite them personally. I get those a lot, and I can't stand when I'm invited to groups and nobody says anything to me at all. And they're like, do you want to be here? I'm like, nope, sure don't. So reach out to them. If you're creating that, give them a call or, give them a voice message and just say, hey, I'm really excited about this. I'm helping my friend launch this, or I'm relaunching this. And I would love for you to just kind of be there. And if, to support me, if it's something that you're interested in, or maybe somebody who would be, I would love to just share this with you. And I would really appreciate if you could hop on and give them that voice message, because they hear it in your voice and they're more likely to show up. The next one is, it's a good season to be showing thanks. So whether that's sending little gifts to your customers or your VIPs, maybe you're doing newsletters or sending out thank you cards when they get their very first orders, stuff like that. It's just a good way to set that up so that they know that they're appreciated and kind of you're at the forefront of their mind. And then you want to make a list now of people that you could give little gifts to over the holidays. And it doesn't have to be anything big, y'all. It could be a sample of, the protein. It can be a pink drink. It can be an active, because Lord knows everybody needs, more energy during the holidays, right? So make the list now of maybe it's your hairdresser, your dentist, your UPS driver, your mail carrier, your teachers, your nail tech, whatever. Make a list of people that you can reach out to and just give them little samples, or stocking stuffers, things like that you can gift at parties if you're going out. Make lists of where you're going to be, because you don't necessarily want to just give out just that. But if you're giving a little gift and it can include maybe a sample of lean, or maybe an active or whatever, a hydrate, if you can include that in whatever gift you're giving away, that's still getting the word out there. The next one is for like family Christmas cards. So I know a lot of people still send them out. I'm one of those kind of old school people that likes to get the cards actually in the mail. And I love to send them. And I know a lot of people will write out all of their family stuff. This is what dad's been up to. This is what the kids have been up to. And you kind of give each person their little section of what they've been up to. And if you're doing that, you can actually just kind of write Plexus into that and create that curiosity, plant that seed in a very natural way. Like, I've been up to this. I've been loving my time at the gym. This, for me, I would say I've been loving my time at the gym. I've been working out and I'm doing some competition stuff with them. And, my Plexus business has been an incredible blessing. I've been able to travel with my friends and, help other people realize their dreams. And it's just been so much fun. And maybe talk about what else you've been doing. I've been trying to not kill my plants, right? So you can put anything that you want in there, but if you're kind of talking about it as it's a regular thing, you're planting a seed without being overly pushy. Like, you don't want to be pushy about that kind of stuff. You don't want to be having it like out there and send them a card that's like, Merry Plexus Christmas. Like, no, don't do that. Just have it in there as part of your life, because that's what we're doing. We're sharing our lives with them. Next one, bring samples with you when you're out shopping. Go to the stores. Don't go on Amazon and get everything. I know it's tempting sometimes, but let's be real. It's not what it was, right? Go to the stores, be in person, take samples with you and business cards, and, wear your Plexus shirt, wear a Plexus beanie, whatever it is, but get out there and talk to people. If you're in a line next to somebody, don't just say, hey, how are you? And then just stand there and do nothing and don't talk to them. Or never even say, how are you? Get into a conversation with them. Like, oh my gosh, hey, I love that sweater. It's so pretty. That color looks amazing on you. And just chat with people. Start conversations. And if you really kind of want to bring stuff up, the best way to do it is to just ask them, what do you do? Because they're going to tell you what they do. And then what's their next question? Well, what do you do? I'm in gut health. I work a business and I help people with their health, and it's fantastic. That can open that door. So we're just starting conversations. Let's see, sorry, I have a whole list of things here. Next one is maybe you're running a holiday special. You can do that in addition to the stuff that Plexus does for like Black Friday or Cyber Monday or whatever specials they're doing. You can run additional specials. But that's a good thing to send to people that you've already had conversations with. Maybe you're doing an extra $10. Maybe you're, giving away free shipping, whatever it is. You can do those things and send them a message when you've already talked to them. If you haven't spoken to somebody about their health, you don't want to send them a message and be like, hey, I've got this special going on, because then it's salesy and that's not helping them. That's just, I'm trying to sell you something. But if you've already had the conversation and they haven't jumped in yet, like, hey, I don't know if the timing's right for you or not yet, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm having this special right now. So if you're ready, great, I'm here for you. Let me know. And then it's a very natural follow-up because you're just telling them you've got a deal on stuff you've already talked about, right? So a holiday special can be a good way to do that. Obviously we have lots of holiday parties to go to, right? Whether it's Halloween parties and it's, Thanksgiving get-togethers or Friendsgiving, like we do that with our friends here too. Lots of Christmas parties. Get those good conversations going. And the best thing you can do when you're talking to people is ask them questions and give them compliments. One or the other, whatever you want to do. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in here before. Are you new? Did you just move to the neighborhood? And they'll start talking. Oh, where'd you live before? Just start a conversation and ask them questions. And, if you can't think of a question, like I said, compliment them on their sweater, their hair, their hat, whatever. But be genuine about it. Don't be fake. If you actually don't like it, don't tell them you like it. Be genuine because it makes a difference. And then also kind of be strategic about what you're doing with your products. So let's say you're going to Thanksgiving and you're going to have a big meal, right? Don't hide your block in your purse. Set it next to you. Bring it with you. Like set it out and be like, oh, I'm taking my block. Does anybody want some block before we have this big meal? Offer it. You never know. Sometimes people take it, sometimes they don't, and it's okay. All you do is offer it and stick it back in. You're not like doing anything else. But that kind of thing can just set that seed, that can plant that seed for people. Then let's see. Next one was be open to new relationships. Like when you're out in stores, if somebody, like, let's say a clerk comes up to you and they're like, can I help you find anything? What do we usually say? No, I'm good, thanks. Right? Because we kind of know what we're looking for. But if we say, yes, could you help me find, or can you point me in the direction of that? If it's somebody that you're feeling like you want to have a conversation with, say yes, ask them for things and start chit-chatting with them while they walk you over there. Could you take me over to where I could find the, Christmas lights or whatever? And then as they're walking over, chit-chat with them. The whole point is to kind of just get that network to expand. And everybody's out in the holidays. People tend to be kind of stressed. So when you're a smiling face and you are kind of a joy presence for them, people are so happy to have that in their space. Like they want to be around people that aren't just exuding stress, right? They want to be around people that are happy and that are just pleasant. So be that person. And, even if you're not feeling it, just try to be that person, and it helps you feel better too. And the last one is to make a new list of your people. So maybe you've got a list of people that you've been talking to or that you want to talk to about Plexus, and maybe you've been adding to it, right? Like we're crossing people off as we've, kind of finished that conversation, whether they've joined or they said, now is really not the time. Okay. Maybe you've done that. Maybe you've added a few people, but I want to encourage you to just start that list over and see if you think of new people, because sometimes when you see that list going, it's already kind of set in your mind and you're kind of thinking specific things. But if you start a fresh list, sometimes people pop in your mind that you hadn't thought of before, or that you hadn't thought of to add to your first list. So making a new list might be a really good idea right now. So the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about as far as activities is making sure that when we're traveling or, having family over or whatever, that you're still working, you're still being consistent. Because if you want the time freedom that this opportunity provides, and y'all, it can be amazing. It can be absolutely amazing, but it doesn't mean that you can do it when you're still early on. The time freedom comes when you've put in the work and you've put in the effort and you've built the team and you've built your business to the point where you can step away for a little bit. But when we're early on and when we're growing and we're pushing for things, it's not the time to say, you know what, I've got family in for 2 weeks. I'm going to be like completely MIA, because that is going to set everything back for your business. It's going to set your momentum back. And it leaves people wondering, where did you go? Would you dip out if they started the products? Would you just disappear on them? They don't know. So we want to make sure that we're still being really consistent, even when we are entertaining family or we're visiting family. And if that means you go to the bathroom and you work on your phone, even if you don't have to go to the bathroom, maybe you have to just excuse yourself for a few minutes and go work. Give yourself a few minutes and plan out exactly what you're going to do and exactly who you're going to talk to, or know what your posts are going to be. Plan those posts out ahead of time, save them in the notes in your phone or on boards, whatever it is you're using, and have them ready to go so that it's easy, because that is how you create the time freedom right now. That time freedom right now means that you have the freedom to choose the time that you work your business. It doesn't mean you have complete time freedom when you're still trying to grow to just stop for weeks. That means you choose the time and you still work. But maybe you don't work as hard every single day. Maybe instead of reaching out to 5 people, you're reaching out to 2 or 3. And that way you're not as, involved in messaging while your family's there. That's fine. You're still going, you're still working, and that's okay. But like I said, tell your family, like, you know what, give me 10 or 15 minutes. I have to go do a few things. I'll be right back. That's okay. Your kids need to see that you're prioritizing things too, because they need to know that you do things that you need to do first, right? So that when you're enjoying yourself, you're totally relaxed and it's not stressful. So it's really just very, very important to do that. And it shows people that this is important to you and that it is a business for you. This is something that you love and that you value, and helping people is what we do, and it's important. And if we don't take the time to do it, people see that and go, but you're not helping anybody, or you haven't talked to anybody, you're not answering questions right now. And it kind of puts doubts in their heads. So just make sure that you're really sticking with things and being consistent. Because like I said, these holidays, these next couple months, yes, things are busy. Yes, things are crazy. But if you plan out, you think ahead and you plan out what you're going to do, you know what's coming up, then you're going to be able to go into January and into the New Year's resolution boom. And y'all, with Reset this year, it is going to be mind blowing. You're going to be able to go into that boom in January, knowing that you have a whole funnel of people that are excited. They've been watching what you've been doing. They've been watching how you've handled all these holiday parties, how you've not been like, oh my gosh, I made 67 sweets and I ate all of them in one night. Like, they're watching what you're doing. So get consistent, get focused, plan it all out for this holiday season, and set yourself up for huge, huge, huge success in January, because that early part of spring is absolutely when people are all about their health and their finances and their weight loss and all of that. So let's be the one that they think of, and let's be the one that they think of for the right reasons, because we're, doing network marketing the way that it should be done, even though lots of times other people don't. So that was pretty much what I had for tonight. If y'all have questions or anything, I would love to hear from you. I know that I've got a lot of quiet and no video on, because I know it's a busy day for y'all. Does anybody have anything? Oh, Debbie
I
says
was listening. I was listening. You had a lot of good things to say, and I'm gonna have to go back when I can write some of those down. But it was good.
yes. Well, thank you. And
Yep.
Debbie, you're welcome for all the tips. Yep. Thank y'all.
I took a lot of notes too, Allison.
Did you? Wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of
Awesome.
it spoke a lot to me, and and I liked what you said about just making sure that you're reaching out to a few people, not making it to where it's too overwhelming.
Mhm.
You know, same with like having family come in or something else going on, just making sure that you're prepared for those times. Because I tend to get overwhelmed, and I tend to just kind of ghost people, I guess. You know, so it's a lot of really awesome tips tonight. I like it.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I think we all have that kind of tendency, especially when it's family time and, things are busy and you tend to just like get all involved and you forget, or you're just like, no, I want to be present. And being present is amazing. And be present, but take those few minutes to go do what you need to do so that you are staying consistent. So that's awesome. All right. Well, I will stop recording and we can chit chat, and thank y'all for joining us.